Hola, amigos, and welcome to Keyframers, the animated collaborative coding livestream where we bring imaginative user interfaces to life. I'm your host, Stephen Shaw.
And I'm your host, David Khourshid.
Together, we are coding compadres, animation amigos, Boolean buddies, and keyframe companions.
Yeah, so this week we're going to be continuing a challenge that we did live last week using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript with React. We're happy to answer any questions you may have, like why did we fail last time and how we're going to succeed this time. So please reach out in the chat or comments.
Yes. Yeah, I've got our old one pulled up here. Let's go back to the kind of source material here. This Archived
Yes.
Chronicles by Ali. Just this really nice kind of image grid, really video grid with this panning and zooming effect that we started recreating and got pieces of it right, but we knew our math was off. We knew it was off, and we just couldn't quite place what needed to be adjusted. So we're back for part 2 here. We'll kind of take what we built last time. You can find a link to that in the description, and we'll kind of correct things from there. But David, you did some good research in the interim time, and you want to kind of walk us through what you built?
Yeah, sure. Hold on, just making sure that we're seeing the same thing. Are you showing the
Untitled private pen? Yes.
Yes, the private pen. All right, so what I did here was I removed all of the corrupts from React because contrary to popular belief, React tends to complicate things, especially with animations like we're dealing with here. So instead, I did a bit of math. We have a lot of variables that we're working with, but the secret to this is actually in the transform origin, which I think we were playing around with, but we just didn't quite get the numbers right. So if you look at it, we have the container rectangle, which that container is the not the gallery. The container is what contains the gallery. So we have a structure of the container has a gallery and the gallery has many items. So what's happening is that the gallery needs to move and the gallery needs to zoom in and out, so to speak. But the container never moves. And so that's why we need to grab the position of both the gallery and the item that's clicked, but not necessarily the container. Everything's relative to the gallery. And so I think that was one of the missing pieces of insight. So we are grabbing the center offsets of each item. And so that center offset is just the distance between the, trying to figure this out. It's the distance between the container left and the item left, sort of. It's basically the distance between the center and the bounds of the gallery, I guess. And so we're also grabbing the center point of the container. So we're getting half of the width, half of the height. And another key thing is the ratio. So we're seeing how wide each item is relative to the container. And so in this case, it's a little less than a third, but in our gallery, it's going to be probably a fifth. Yeah, like the dimensions are just going to be all over the place. So long story short, we just have a lot of variables. And so those variables show us what we need to do in 2 phases. The first phase is translating the gallery, so the XY position of the gallery. And so we're like, once we click an item, we translate it such that the item is in the center of the gallery. And that's what we're using that X center offset and that XY or that Y center offset with. But we're also setting the origin, so the transform origin, and we're setting that to be the the top left corner of the item, not the center, but the top left corner, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so when we do that, after a timeout, we're scaling such that the width of the image and the height of the image fills up the entire screen, or the container, which is the screen. And then we set everything, or almost everything, to 0. Honestly, this took me like half an hour, and I got it to a point where it's working, and so I could just like explain 75% of it now and not exactly the full thing. But I do know one thing. I mean, I know a few things, but the final thing that I know is that I was resetting, when I was making this, I was resetting the X and Y origin to 0, and that was causing some weird curvy behavior. So the trick to this is, don't touch the transform origin when you're resetting everything else. That's going to make it zoom in and out really nicely, and you're going to be changing that origin anyway when you click another item.
Right.
So yeah, 3 steps over here, which means I'm going to use sort of a state machine. Well, really, I'm just going to have a status, because we're doing it in 3 phases. We have the gallery view, we have the centered item view, and we have the zoomed in item view.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, this should port over very well to what we've already built. We'll just kind of implement things in that kind of state machine-y way. And, we might be able to adjust a few things here. We'll kind of play with it and see how it goes. But I'm going to start by just copying this over, and then we'll start adapting it.
I'm going to start by just deleting everything in the use effect.
Oh boy.
So yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I've copied over what you built here. So we've got to change a few things, like gallery rect. So I, instead of container rect, I made it explicitly clear about the gallery there. Gallery ref.current, and then this will be. You deleted how we were looking up the item, didn't you? Let's see.
That's just our L item thing.
If selected, well, so there's if selected is what we need to wrap all this in, and then we need to get images ref selected. I think is our image the item.
Sorry for deleting that, but yeah,
that's okay.
And yeah, we want images ref.current selected.
Dot current.
Yeah, well, dot current's on the actual ref.
Oh yes. But of course. Okay.
Yeah, so and then we could just put this out to an image ref and all of that.
Yeah.
And so what we're also doing is we're setting the mode to centered, or I forgot why I called it, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, so we're you know what, we're gonna have gallery, center, and item. Actually, no, just focus, because it does look like it's focused in the original animation.
Focus and what?
Item.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna have to clear out a bunch of styles, but what we can do here is setting. So let's instead of directly setting style.set property, let's make these part of our delta. So we'll go set delta and just do these kind of as properties, and then this can all just directly apply on the style there. And are all of these pixel values?
Yeah. Let's say here L image. Okay, and then we have all of that math there.
So we'll just say style delta.
Yeah, and so I'm going to also add this, just the reset set timeout, And that's so that we could see it just going back. And so we could, play around with it more.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, so we're using set delta. So we could just set delta dx is going to be 0, dy to 0. And we also have, you know what, I'm still trying to decide a naming convention for this, but when we're talking about the ratio, so I have r for ratio, it should be reset to 1, not 0.
That's essentially the zoom level.
Yeah.
Zoom ratio. Yeah. Okay, so we've got those variables in here. We definitely need to adjust our CSS. So let's take a look at how you did that in here. So you've got, for the gallery is all that's transitioning. So let's copy that over, and we'll remove a lot of this from here. Let's see. It's always nice being able to trim out dead code.
Yeah.
Okay, got those.
It's like getting a haircut when you haven't had one for months.
Yes. Okay, so I've got RTX, and you're doing it, multiplying it by a pixel, so that's all good. All right, so let's run this and see what we get, other than some errors. Oh,
all right. Errors works for me.
Well, it's very zoomed in for me.
I didn't click run.
Yeah.
It is very zoomed in. Oh, I think that's because we were doing the silly thing where we're initially zooming it in and then zooming it out. So each image should actually be, so what I have it in the pen is
we want the images to be small.
Yeah, they're going to be small, so they're not going to be full size.
Okay, so I did it as 20 BW there. Right.
Yeah. I think the way I did it was I just did just grid template columns rows repeats 3 or however many, and then just let CSS grid do it instead of assigning it viewport width and height.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have grid template columns repeat 5, same for rows. And so instead of image width, we're going to have a French unit.
Oui.
Yes. And then so image width, do we still need like the 100% image width? Yeah, we'll find out.
It should be fine now. After it resets, we need to reset the mode. I was wondering why it wasn't working. So if
state machines,
if mode equals focus.
Well, I did it after the 750.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's try that. Okay, got some centering happening. That's great. All right, I'm gonna trim out this.
Yes, everything's working.
So far, so good.
Beautiful thing. Yeah.
So far, so good. Now let's see. So what we can do is if mode equals focus, return. That's fine. Let's see. We can probably move. Let's see. So what we're gonna want to do is selected. We're not changing selected. I'm just wondering how we handle like the state changes, because we're. So do we do if selected and mode equals focused? All right. Mode equals focus to like trigger the second state.
Sorry. What was that again?
As far as transitioning between the states, when we click the image to center it, and then like click again to zoom, or are we just doing set timeout? Or
no, we'll do a set timeout. And so what we'll do in that set timeout is set the mode. And so that's why this is actually going to be dependent on the mode as well. So I add that to the use effect. I tried to add the focus ring, but I put on the wrong thing. So yeah, should be on the actual app, but that's not going to work.
Yeah, on the gallery itself.
Well, so the app is all right. So we have the app. We don't have a container for the gallery, do we? Or
No.
the app is the container,
Right, the
right?
app is just the container there.
Alrighty, that works. Yeah. So grid column. Oops. One grid row.
Don't forget to rerun if you're waiting for
I
visual
keep doing that.
confirmation.
So what was the reason that we are not auto running?
With React changes, it's just sometimes a little better to not. I'm not opposed to turning it back on.
Yeah, I mean, either way works. Oh, cool. So we have our focus ring, and I'm guessing that we could also inherit those styles, but whatever. For the grid.
Well, that's what I did. So in gallery, if you go
nice.
to, I just did grid inherit.
Way ahead of me.
Yeah, gap is not included in that though, so you need to also do a gap, or you can do gap inherit. And we could probably do the padding on the parent itself. In theory, that'll work. Yeah, and you can do a little bit of a negative margin on the 4 to kind of give it an outline effect. Something like that will do. All right, so if mode equals focus, so I'm gonna do a little adjusting here. So on click, let's go. That is selected. Cool. Selected, and then in our on click handler here, we can go set selected is selected, selected, and we'll null it out. Not set it to the source there. Go. Okay, so selected. Eunice in the chat saying, many thanks for being 100% honest and sharing even your struggles. Learning so much from you guys. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's impossible to get everything right the first time. We've just been very lucky so far.
Yeah. And, as we do these, we have a lot of failures on the way to success. I mean, that's pretty much how it goes. So, yeah. All right. So we also have the changes in DX, DY, RW, and RH.
Right. That's the zoomed view.
Right. So that does mean that we have to store those.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, so if selected, we're gonna go up here, and then we kind of do this that kind of idea, but we need to move this up. Because if selected, we're gonna have these, and we can calculate all of that, and then we'll do that, and I need an additional wrapper there. Let me clean that up. There we go. In theory, that'll still work. Yep. Okay.
Okay, so if we're in the focus mode, that's when we're changing those CSS variables, and you could do it your set delta away. And then after a timeout, we go to, no, actually, no. That's going to be on click. On click, we will change the mode. So, yeah. Nice, fancy.
There we go. All right, so, whoa. Yeah, it's instantly doing that. So we might want to do like the set time. Let's see, because we've got like this probably needs to move up. Let's do this.
Well, yeah, so hold on. We're setting the delta, and after a set timeout, we change the mode. That's all that we should be doing. And so if mode is gallery, where are we?
So we're doing that. It needs to be outside of the if selected.
Well, I mean, things are still selected.
I guess.
When we're so. Yeah, and I'll explain the whole state machine concept of this later, but we're basically, these are transition actions. And so they're based on transitioning, in this case, from,
there we go.
Sorry, I just brain farted, but yeah. I'll explain later. Mondays, right?
Yeah. Okay, so our panning is still working, but zooming does not do anything.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's why I brain farted. So we're in focus mode, but then we need to go to item mode. Oh, wait. So
let's do this here. If mode
So sorry, this should be item mode. All right, cool. So let's think about what happens. We're in the gallery mode first. And so when we click something, we should be in focus mode. So we set selected, and I'm just going to say set mode focus. Just putting it right in the click handler there. All right, so now we're in focus mode, which will set the delta. And then after, I'm just going to put a second, we go to item mode. Wait.
Yeah. This should be correct. I moved some things around. So this should be the focus.
Gotcha. Yeah.
This could all be a switch statement.
The only thing we're doing in these set timeouts is we're setting the mode. Yeah. Cool. Let's give that a go.
Okay, try it out here. Nothing.
Great.
I've got an error somewhere. We might be missing a parentheses or too many parentheses. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Click. Whoa. All right.
Wow.
So I think we're removing the origin, so we need to keep that in here.
Definitely need to keep that.
Okay. Do we need that in the set delta as well? Let's see. Okay. Oh. Okay. That's got something funky happening.
We're close.
Yeah, we're getting close. There, set timeout. If mode equals item, we need to do a set timeout back to gallery, right?
No. So when we click the image again, and I'm adding that right now. So if mode equals item, then we're just gonna set mode gallery. And those of you who know state machines know that that's sort of not the best way to do it, but that's something that you could easily refactor and use events instead. But right now we're just doing it inline just for ease of use and better developer experience just for now.
Yeah, that had some some results there. It's still offset for me. I think that's the padding. Let's
Right,
see.
clicking doesn't return me though.
It's working. That's working for me.
I keep forgetting to click the run button.
So if you refresh, it should have that disabled, or you can disable it in the settings.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm getting an offset. I think it's this padding. So let me comment that out and see if that. No, not quite.
Are we sure that the transform origin is really key here? So
yeah,
just have to make sure that that's correct. And so I'm checking the CSS right now, making sure that we're not setting transform origin, where we shouldn't be setting it. Yeah, we have origin X, origin Y. Yeah, let me just check this pen again. Yep, transform, transition all. Let's see. Oh yeah,
if we
and
move
so the
this up
transform.
if we move this up to the app, does that help at all?
So the container really has nothing. Even in the example pen, nothing should really. The container really shouldn't be doing anything. Yeah, so all of that should be part of the gallery. So I'm just trying to think. We have all of that. Transform origin. Let me make sure that transition, or yeah, the transform is correct.
Which keyframers is Netflix for my brain. It's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. All right. So we are so close right now. It's just that darn transform origin.
Oh, is it possibly our border? Let's see. Kind of border and scroll bars. Let's do overflow hidden here. That will help.
Yeah, so if you notice, if you click the top right corner, it's sort of obvious how it's zooming wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, any of the corners really, it's just zooming really, really wrong. So
yeah.
Let me see. Transform. Yeah, let's make sure that our deltas are correct. That might be it too. Maybe check the CSS vars or the CSS vars and see that we don't have any accidental null or undefined values. Might be it too.
We do have some defaults there in place. So if there is anything null, it should still work. I was checking just now. Yeah, everything looks okay there. I'm gonna inspect, see, because we've got dx, dy, origin.
Oh, you know what? So I think every single time we're running this use effect, we're actually recalculating the refs, and we shouldn't be doing that. So
yeah, so we need to store all these values.
I would say honestly, ref it. Let's just put this in the ref. So like const measurements ref equals use ref, and then just yeah. So and then why did I pick such a long name?
Okay, and let me do a little adjustment here. So we'll actually keep that in its own use effect for selected, and then we'll have a separate use effect that's responding to the mode and selected. that should help a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it will only change these measurement refs if there's a new selected value.
One more thing. So over here, set mode, focus, boom. So that's going to trigger this use effect. And so the only thing that happens when you select it is you trigger this use effect, which is the only thing that should happen. Then that sets the mode, which triggers this use effect. So that should work.
Well, that if there's a selected,
right. Yes.
And we can also do the else set mode gallery there.
Yeah.
And then the click handler can just handle clearing the value. If mode equals item.
My screen's blank.
Set selected.
Or black.
It's still working for me at the moment. Okay. Okay, yeah, if you click on something, it errors out.
Let's find this error, see what's going on. Item rect is not defined.
No, it's, yeah. Your line replacement was a little aggressive.
It was, but that's how I program, just aggressively. You know, there's defensive programming, but I do offensive programming.
This should be that.
Oh, oops. That. Oh man, this is begging for a refactor.
It can certainly be cleaner.
Yeah, we need all of these. So.
Okay, that's at least partially right. Oh, okay, I see.
We'll
you were passing in. Oh, good gravy.
Wait, did I do something wrong? Oh wait, yeah. So the item rect is not part of that.
Right. So the gallery rect, you have a reference to that value. I think it's just top and left, so we should probably just pass through those values.
Cannot read property width of undefined.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, oops.
That.
Wow, sorry. I have to, I have to be more patient with coding. Sheesh.
Yeah, I'd almost want to refactor it just like this, so we're clear about what we're passing through.
That makes sense.
And we can do top as.
Oh, oops.
Go.
Man, that's always fun. Oh,
Beautiful.
shoot.
It is.
Yeah, I forgot the semicolons and I pressed the wrong arrow key. So there we go.
All right. Let me formatting here just to be. Okay, clicking does nothing. Measurement ref. Current. This will just be top.
Should probably be this.
Really? Okay. That's kind of working. Selected set mode.
I got it.
Okay, we're still set mode there. Okay, the centering is not working for me.
Yeah, the center was going sort of the opposite way.
Oh, so I see what the issue is. So we need this X offset as this. And that. And yeah, same with Y offset, yeah. And that will go. That should do it. Yep. There we go. Nice.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Hey,
Except, oh yeah, clicking does go back.
yep.
But it does the weird curvy behavior that I was warning about. And that's
Right.
because we're probably resetting the transform origin, which, so the idea is that you shouldn't do that.
Right. So we can keep that. So it's basically right here where we're setting
Yeah.
that, setting delta. Yep, that works. Oh, we need pointer events none on the before thing. That allows us to click the center one. Our little outline is not.
I know. I'm looking at that now. I just don't think you realize how happy I am that we solved this. So the data mode is on the app, so we could say and data mode equals. So if we're in the item view, then our pseudo element should be I don't know.
Yeah, what I was planning to do is moving it on to the element that is actually transforming and everything, and then we
Very
don't.
sneaky, very sneaky. So I could just display none. Like we could do a little switcheroo, and yeah.
I was more thinking just having it rendered on the grid element that's actually zooming and everything, just position it with position absolute in the center.
Well, so I mean, it is important that like we have that focus ring stay perfectly in the center, because that's part of the original animation. But what we could do is just do a little switcheroo at the end.
Transforming.
You know, do a little bit of an illusion so that the selected item has the same border.
Well, we can also apply a scale. Transform. In theory, let's that off. What broke? Oh, you're doing something.
Yeah. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
but hold on. I think we can get this. Yeah, got it. Kind of. Yeah, I'm gonna hide your border there real quick to can get that, and then if we set.
Oh, nice. The border radius, the border radii are a little bit off.
Yeah.
And it becomes very blindingly obvious. That's okay. Yeah, you already have that transition. Also, when an item, we could actually give the even opacity of 0 because it does fade out.
Yeah. Let's see. And it's almost like and data mode equals focus is where we want this. I don't know if that help at all. Oh, do and let's try that.
So
wait,
you got rid of the scale, or did you?
No. Focus item. Well, I was trying to move it into more of an explicit state.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't seem to be triggering. I think it's just triggering too late. So it should be fine to leave it there. And keep it zooming in and out.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Nice.
Cool. Just tweaking something. tweaking the radius a little bit. It's a bit aggressive. Actually, we could just change it to, I don't know, 1 Beeman. That's a bit big too. There we go. What do you think?
Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Yeah, there's.
I wish that there was an outline radius because I'd rather use an outline for this.
Yeah, well, that's why I was doing the little bit of negative margin to just kind of offset it a little bit from the actual image.
Yeah, but let me try something else. And this one should be fair scale Y. So instead, I'm pre-transforming it, if that makes sense.
It kind of throws the sizing off
it looks
a little bit.
A little weird.
Zoom. Gonna do it here. I'm gonna reset that. Oops. Yeah, because the ratio wasn't quite right. But this way it should be. Whoa. Oh, are you playing with the sizing?
I am.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well to get it actually properly centered in the viewport.
Yeah, we just need to make the images fit, and we could do that using whatever that property was.
Well, so
object sizing or whatever it is.
So instead of doing that, body display grid line place items center. Helps if you spell things correctly. What's broken?
So yeah, sorry, that might have been
me.
No,
I think it's me. I always accidentally hit my insert key instead of backspace.
No, probably still me.
Oh, so yeah, something's off with the click handling.
Yeah, so I just said, so there is this bug,
there we go,
or quote unquote bug, where if you are overzealous with your clicking, it's going to do weird behavior. And so, yeah, don't know if you've noticed that, but it does happen sometimes.
Yeah, part of that is our set timeout. So ideally, what we do is move that. So in here, if mode equals item, set selected null, else.
Well, keep that in there actually.
Well, here's what I'm planning. Like in the click handler, you click an item to center it, you click it again to zoom, which kind of seems like what the behavior of the original is. Like you click it to center it, and then you click it again to zoom.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, go for it.
So if mode equals item, set selected equals null, else if mode equals focus, we'll say and is selected, set mode item. In theory, that's the behavior we want. Yep. That works. And
So
now you can click and center around. Oh, kind of. Focus. Yeah, something's off with my logic there. That's selected. If mode equals item, set selected null. If mode equals focus and it's selected, then set mode to item. Otherwise, it's going to set selected and set mode focus. That seems right. It's like, oh, is it because, no, so if mode gallery equals item. It's like our mode use effect isn't triggering. Let me just do a console.log here. Mode. Let's see what's happening. Okay, so mode is gallery. Mode is focus. So it's not triggering a mode change. Mode equals focus and selected. Off with my logic. Let's see.
So which part are you looking at now?
So I'm looking at the click handler right now. I think that's where the issue is. Basically, I'm trying to, if you click another image, it should change the selected source, but it doesn't seem to do that. So else if mode is focus and it's selected, then it should set mode item. Otherwise, it's going to be the default behavior, but that doesn't seem to be working. Okay, if mode is set selected null. Okay, selected. Okay, that's part of the problem there, I think. It's really strange. Selected should be changing, but it doesn't seem to be. Let's see if that. Let's do a log of selected. Sorry, we're almost there. We'll wrap up in just a minute. Let's see. Selected is undefined. Okay, selected is triggering. Oh, but the mode is not triggering. So the mode is not changing, and that's as intended. So let's do selected and mode. In that use effect, yeah, that's all it was. Okay. Okay, now it should be behaving correctly. Some of the zooming is still kind of off because of things. I think that's just our math is not accounting for it being centered in the viewport there.
Yeah.
So I've gone back to not having that and no padding there either. And yeah, we'll leave it at that for now, because that's
sounds good.
Very close. Take out these logs. Okay. Yeah, so that's all pretty clean. Pretty clean. Ah, you're getting into
Oh yeah, it'll take me all of 30 seconds.
Oh boy, some vent listeners here. We probably want, well, I guess it's fine if it's
We're going full Netflix over here.
Well, so right now we're not using array values for selected. Like the index, what you want. I can adjust that easily. That should work.
Oh, okay.
It's just images ref. It's gonna need to be. In theory, that will do it. Object error. Okay. Yeah, that should work. Something's off with our math still, but hey. Nobody's tuning in for our math.
Exactly. So we just make sure that, oh yeah, so we are getting our arrows, or our key listeners, but they're not doing anything. So
yeah, something is off.
So selected images ref.current. Oh, the selected is by, you said it's by the source, right?
Well, so no, because you're needing an index. So I updated that to be using an index down the line like 149. I'm setting images ref.current index equal to node. So that should be working, and it does work on occasion, but yeah, there it goes. It's working.
Really? I'm pressing the arrows like crazy.
Oh, the arrows I haven't tested yet. Why is that not triggering? That's selected. Well, so right now there is no selected value.
Oh, okay. So I have to just say like, okay, yeah.
So what we can do is set selected as, what would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. Theory, that's the middle one. Nope. It's gonna be 12 because it's 0 index. And that should help. 12.
We have our array. Let's see.
Yeah, it's images.
Oh, gotcha.
Images are array.
Dot max 0, and that's just going to be n. Cool. So selected, get index, selected -1. See, that's what I'm doing over there. So get index selected +1. So is it set to 0 right now or no?
No, I set it to the middle one as 12.
Okay, yeah,
so
that works.
It's kind of working. Here's the problem.
Still callbacks, still reference, whatever.
So if we change these to functions like that, then the value should be fresh.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I was going
to...
that
works.
Yeah.
That does it. So for these, we can say -5.
Yeah.
Probably 6. I don't know. That might work.
I put in a variable.
Yeah, sure.
And then this is just plus rows.
Hey, that's so nice. For some reason, it centers sometimes, but doesn't center other times. For me, is that because we're not changing the mode. So let's do set mode focus in here, because if selected is changed, we want to do that. Yeah, there we go. That's working. So nice.
Cool. And now, haha, cool. Now try pressing enter.
Nice. Math is still off in spots for me. It seems to be the edge ones. I don't know. There's just weird instances where it's off, but I think we're close enough here.
Cool. Yeah. There we go.
Awesome. All right.
So,
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you press enter, no, just kidding. If mode equals focus. So yeah, pressing enter it's taking us back to gallery for whatever reason. But, oh, you know what? That's because I think we're doing the whole stale callback thing. Darn it.
Yeah. So what we would do here is set mode. And then,
geez, you're smart. I keep trying to just add it to the dependency array, but I keep forgetting about that little trick.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite little state tricks.
Also, you see this stuff, if mode equals focus, do item, then do gallery. This is what a state machine solves, but that's probably an exercise left to the reader. Yes. But now you could see that everything works. You press enter again, it's going to go back.
Yes.
I think we're still having some centering issues.
Yeah, it's intermittent for me. I think it's like after you've selected one. But it resets and starts working again for some reason. So
I think it might just be a race condition issue.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But yeah, this is pretty good. And of course we could clean it up and fix that, bug. But yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Super cool. Yeah, awesome work. Thanks for getting that math worked out. That made things much easier here. We're definitely in a good spot with it, I'd say. Well, is there anything to summarize on this one? This one's kind of a beast.
I would say no. Just read the code, honestly.
Yeah. Go back and watch episode 1 and then watch this one. Overall, it seems like a simple problem on the surface, but it just causes so much, so many little intricacies that need to be calculated and worked out and balanced to get the right effect.
Yeah, and it shows you that sometimes React does get in the way. But yeah, a few React tricks that you could use to avoid that, like Shaw's set state trick.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Thank you so much, David, and thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and being here with us. Will you close us out?
Sure thing. All right. If you want to watch the full process of us finally accomplishing this animation for a deeper dive into each technique, you could watch the full live stream links below. Sorry.
Yeah, we have part 1 linked below, and we've got this linked there as well for part 2, so you can get in there and watch it all.
Yep. And also leave us a comment if you have any questions.
Yes, our show is supported by our sponsors, CodePen at codepin.io, CSS Tricks at css-tricks.com, Stately at stately.ai, and viewers like you. You can pledge at patreon.com/keyframers and subscribe to our channel for more great content. We got all those links available below. But that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Adios, amigos.
Adios.